Happy holidays, everybody! This is my gift to you guys by compiling all the videos from my first year. So sit back, put this in the background, or just listen to the whole thing, I guess. This was my first video, actually. We don't talk about how high my voice was. Hello, guys. Welcome back to my non-existent videos. I'm Anilow, and this is my, YouTube thing. I'm gonna be posting on YouTube, although this algorithm is known for hiding their small creators so they can never become anything and amount to nothing, unless you are filled with determination. Anyway, to the 2 viewers seeing this, thank you. Continue watching right now. Subscribe or it's slop video time. I've always thought about using my animating powers to YouTube it all over the place, but I've come into problems like also balancing school and stuff, although it might be a little much. Luckily, I'm the smartest super genius ever, and I'm so smart that anything is meaningless, so
I'm already starting to not like this guy.
You're bad, and these videos are so low quality.
On that thought, you look even more beautiful. Anyway, I'm gonna actually share some stuff about actually making this content. So I might not be the best with drawing hands, and I'm way too lazy to lip sync anything, so anything I say, I open my mouth and it just comes out. And sometimes the drawings can probably get a little sloppy, but let's be honest, this is the first video. All of the animators had to start somewhere, so in the future I'll probably look back on it and be like, ew, what the cringe. Anyway, not only do I like animation, but I also like coding and YouTubing, I guess, yeah. Anyway, I have nothing else to say, so like this if you really enjoyed it, dislike it if this is the worst garbage you've ever seen, subscribe if you really want to see more, and if you want, share this with not just your friends, but the entire world. Hi, you've made it to the end of the first video, so usually I'd show like other videos here, but there's literally none, so bye! Dang, y'all didn't really know who I am? Good thing this video was made. Hello, I'm still Anilow. Here is a mind-blowing question. What is Anilow? Now, unless your full legal name is and your social security number is 2, I don't really think you'll know who I am. Also, something I should add. Thank you for support on the first one. And yes, internet screen, I will remember you. If I get popular. Low chance. Okay, back to the question. What is Anilow? Well, I'm not really sure myself, but you see, most of the Storytime animator qualities are simple. Person talking on the left or right, simple drawing. And here I am talking on the left and being a very simple drawing. Now, to be completely honest, when I was getting my idea to do the YouTube channel video thing, I quite literally just drew a simple character and I said spikes would be cool. The spikes also work well because my haircut in real life is extremely cooked, so why not give my animated self a cooked appearance? Now, another part of what I am. Where did I get my online name? Well, you see, Anilow is a combination of 2 words, animation and low. Low, you may ask, because the amount of money in my bank account is low. Now, this isn't really about the character itself, but about the Anilow channel. I didn't say this in the first one, but I'll try to upload at least once a week, maybe twice if I'm not busy. If I want to make a longer video that's not like 2 minutes long and maybe like 8 or something, it might take longer than a week. And an update on the last video, I was extremely wrong. We actually got like 221 views as of checking right now. So instead of the 2 people, the 221 people that watched that video. Thank you. And I also got 48 subscribers, which is a lot for one video, so thanks for that too. Make sure you stick around, turn notifications on. I'll keep posting for a while until I stop. Now back to my character. If you ever see any part of me that does not have 7 spikes, that is a fake. They are a fake, they are a doppelganger, they are wrong. They are very wrong, and they must be removed immediately. Okay, why don't I wear any clothes? I wear clothes. This is a suit. It's a white suit that I wear because it's fun. As of right now, the video is already like 2 minutes and 43 seconds long, and I don't really want to animate all that right now, so I'm going to end it right here. You found out what Anilow is, so that's me. Remember, like if you like, dislike if you hate, comment if you have something to say, subscribe if you really like. Congratulations, you've made it to the very end of this video. So, anyway, I'm gonna go now. I'm in your walls. Middle school business schemes be like, hey, I'm Anilow and you clicked on my video, so this is how I infiltrated my school with some basic kazoo crafts that almost got me in a lot of trouble. And quick side note, if you haven't subscribed, do it now. We're trying to reach 200 subscribers, so, yeah, you should do that. If you clicked on the video, you should just subscribe, because you clicked on it. Anyway, so this is how I infiltrated my school. So I'm in Boy Scouts, and during the fall, my town was starting some fall festival with whatever, and our troop had, like, a stand there to, like, sell popcorn and stuff. Our troop was there to also, like, help out with, like, the festival and stuff, which was kind of cool. Anyway, they also had arts and craft supplies to make what they called DIY harmonicas. I don't know, but it was simple, and this is how we made them. A popsicle stick with a large rubber band around it lengthwise, 2 small cut straws under the band, then another popsicle stick on top with smaller rubber bands tied around the sides. I guess it was for little kids to make and annoy the heck out of their parents, but while the kids saw being annoying, I saw a business opportunity. Also, if you're wondering, they kind of sound something like this. After this, I begged my mother to go to the dollar store so I could get the sticks, the bands, and the straws. And once I got all the materials got picked up, I got to work. I only made like 10 of them or so. I put them in my school bag and the supplies to make them on the go, and I went to bed. So after waking up and getting ready to go to school and ending up in the building of doom where we learn, I explained what they were to my classmates and said they were $1 each. Very cheap sale. As the day went on, more and more people heard about the kazoos and more people started asking for them. And by the end of the day, when I was gonna get on the school bus to go home, I counted my money and I made $15, which was not much, but it was a profit. So then that night I made like a lot more because I expected there to be more demand. So when I went to school, I guess too many people heard about the kazoos because on the morning announcements they were like, guys, you can't sell crap on these school grounds! Like, of course, instead of like teaching kids about entrepreneurship, you gotta shut it all down, like not cool to not like drugs. I mean, like, they're annoying, but like, come on. But anyway, I just had a bunch of like kazoos in my bag and I didn't know what to do with them, so I just handed them out for free to anyone who wanted them. Sorry to the people who bought them the first day, by the way, and also sorry to the kids who the previous day they didn't have any money, so then they brought it the next day and then they can't even buy them. So, and since I was just handing them out for free, I might as well make a lot of them. So we had a big science test or something, but it was pretty easy for me, so I just took the test and then I got to work like behind the divider thing. I'm pretty sure my science teacher, shout out to him, by the way, he's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure he noticed, but like, I don't think he cared because he's cool. By the time lunch came around, anyone who even muttered kazoos pretty much got one, and not only would people play them and they were annoying, but they'd also play them in class, like, while you're supposed to be gaining knowledge. Listen, kids in my grade are really stupid. They'd do anything for attention. Even if it meant throwing me under the bus, even though you're the one who wanted it, and you're the one who was literally playing it. So teachers started banning them. People were getting in trouble for, like, doing or, like, showing them at all to anyone. After a day or two of people getting caught with the kazoos and being asked for them to get put away, and hands started to gravitate towards one person. So I was already on edge about getting in more, deeper, bigger trouble. Oh, I'm not stopping there. Oops, I ran out. Then, we had an assembly. Me and all my friends all thought that they would, address them, or, yeah. And as our whole grade piled into the auditorium and our assistant principal took the stage.
Guys, stop bullying each other.
Yeah, it was just some anti-bullying assembly. I don't even know why they do those. It never works. There's barely any bullying and it's not gonna stop anyway. So, I thought I was in the clear. Until... Hey, Anilow, can I speak to him for a minute?
Yeah. Yep.
And all I got was a talk about how I shouldn't sell stuff in school because it's against the policy or whatever, so yeah. Anyway, this was all an extremely dumb idea and you shouldn't do this ever or else you'll get hated on for the rest of the school year. I mean, I didn't get hated on. My popularity level kind of increased a little bit, but still don't do it. It was just a dumb idea from 6th grade me, so, yeah. Congrats, you've made it to the end of the video. This was a longer video from my other two, which were 2-3 minutes long. I talked too much, and I'm gonna have to animate all of this, so, yeah, feel sorry for me. I'm gonna go now, and just remember to check under the bed. Oh no, I was gone for 2 months and 3 people cared. So it's been a few months. I may only have 156 subscribers, but, it was mainly, my real-life friends that watched this anyway, so, it's been, 2 months since I've posted and made a video. It was a combination of school, moving, and having absolutely no motivation. I was extremely burnt out, just to the point where even picking up my animation tablet felt like a chore. So I'll definitely need to have a solid schedule so I don't get overworked. Anyways, so far I've achieved 156 subscribers, and when you search Anilow on YouTube, I actually show up instead of whoever this guy is. I really hope I can achieve more and not get burnt out again. I have a lot of video ideas. A lot. I made a Q&A post a while back and I said I was going to make that and it's halfway done. I'll try to release that first and then some other ones. Anyway, just my apologies, and this is the end of the video. Bye. Me and my Clarknet go way back. Do.
That was beautiful. I should subscribe. Wow, he knows how to play.
Hello, I'm Anilow. Have you ever played an instrument before? Well, I obviously have, and you could probably guess which instrument I play too. For those not really familiar with instruments, this is a clarinet. It's kind of like a recorder, but longer, and it has a bell, and it has a bunch of metal armor. It also uses a reed, which is like a piece of wood that vibrates to make noise. If I had to give it a difficulty rating, I'd say it's moderate. It's kind of easy to pick up, but to fully master it and play all the notes, it is kind of challenging. And at our concerts, the songs that we play, we always have the really, really weirdest parts. Anyone explain to me how I'm supposed to do this without breathing? And our instruments also are extremely quiet, so when you listen to a song performed by a band, it's not an all band ensemble, it's more hearing the trumpets and the percussion 90% of the time. But also, to play the clarinet, you have to match the clarinet. If you're not cut out to be a clarinet player, like some people I can mention, just don't play it. You would not believe how many people who play clarinet in my class are terrible at it. And I wish these kids would realize that if they're not good at clarinet, they should just switch to a different instrument that they might be better at, or they're just sped, like someone I can mention. Oh, also, if you're wondering, the shot from the first scene actually happened. And it's happened way too many times. Like at the start of 6th grade, I got 10 new reads, and by the end of the year, I left with 1. And it was low-key kind of crusty and moldy. Anyway, back to the title of the video. I'm actually a band kid. Most of my friends are also in band, and you could consider them band kids. Band is obviously my favorite class. I'm like the second best clarinet player in my grade. Really, there's only like 3 good clarinet players and the rest are like very bad. And I also refer to my clarinet as a clarkinet. With that being said, thank you for listening to me yap for 3 minutes about my clarkinet. Anyway, this is the end, but it'll totally give me a headache if you don't subscribe. Hello, I'm Anilow, and have you ever had a headache before? Because if you haven't, you're lucky. You see, I used to, and still do, get frequent headaches, and said headaches are not very good. So obviously, if you haven't clicked off, you can listen to me yap about headaches for a few minutes. Anyway, with that being said, there are many types of headaches. There's tension type headache, which is pretty common, and it's like band-like pressure around the head. There's a migraine, and it's very bad. Migraines feel pretty painful, but cluster headaches are like really, really bad. They're like one-sided and they come in repeating clusters over months. But in reality, there's a lot of different types of headaches that can occur from like bad sleep cycles, having a concussion, not getting your hit of caffeine, doing strenuous tasks, obviously just being plain sick, irritated nerves, head injury pain, or like blood pressure spike pain, taking too much medicine, taking the wrong medicine, taking not enough medicine, being around that one kid from my school. Anyway, I'm sure you get the point where if someone says that they have a headache, it could be any type of headache. But like previously stated, the most common is the tension type headache. And I'm pretty sure that's the one I get all the time. Now, my specific causes of having a headache are waking up on Monday, staying up literally for multiple nights, obviously being sick, lots of bright lights and like loud noises, and being around that one kid from school. Now, very luckily for me, my headaches are like mostly treatable. Just some rest and some ibuprofen and a cold rag does it. But sometimes that doesn't work. And suddenly then I'm vomiting and having a lot of bad pain, barely being able to do any simple task. And these big bad headaches really suck for me. But the thing that really sucks for everyone that gets headaches is that people and scientists don't actually really understand why people get them at all. And they're pretty much uncurable except painkillers that obviously kill the pain, or some advanced medicine prescribed by a doctor. And I've already mentioned this before, but every single Monday I seem to wake up with a headache, and a lot of people in my life like joke about it, because no one really knows why it happens. It's not about bad sleep, because sometimes I do get really good sleep and it still happens anyway. It's not about waking up extremely early to fill my brain with useless knowledge, because I still get them on days I'd sleep in until like noon. But when I have them at school, that's the worst part. I could probably make a new video just about this topic, but the school nurses actually suck. But to be fair, the kids also suck too. If I have a headache, a soggy bag of ice water on my forehead will not take it away. Drinking some lukewarm water probably out the toilet or something is not gonna work either. Laying down for 5 minutes actually like helps, except the beds are very low quality and not cleaned at all, and it feels like laying down on concrete. And then the nurses are like, okay, I think it's time for you to get back to class now. Yeah, going back to the classroom with all the bright lights and the monotonous teacher yapping about solving for X or whatever is not going to help. But I guess I do also understand the stupid kids who are like, oh, I have a headache, please send me home right now. And with all the kids, the nurses are to the point where if they don't watch you vomit in front of them, you cannot leave. There was a time once when I was at school and I felt really sick, so I asked to go to the bathroom, and I actually threw up in the bathroom. And then I went straight to the nurse, and the nurse was like, well, how are we supposed to know that you actually threw up? Ma'am, I am currently as sick as a little Victorian child. Let me pop my ibuprofen and let me rest. Like what? Next time when I'm nauseated, I'm supposed to go to the nurse and call you into the bathroom so you can watch me throw up? Like, geez, you get paid $4 an hour to actually be a nurse, not be a Anyway, this video is pretty long, so I think I'm gonna end it here, but I hope you learned a little bit about headaches. I hope you learned about my headaches, and I hope you like and subscribe.
Bye.
America is broken. Guess who fixed it?
Hello, I'm America,
And I'm Anilow.
and my state borders are horrendous.
So I think I should, redraw them so they're better.
Making America great again.
Finally. If you enjoy the video, you should subscribe and like and stuff because that helps me.
You heard the guy? Do it, or I'll put tariffs on you.
Okay, let's not get too carried away. First up, Wyoming and Colorado. Literally depressing rectangular states. And no one lives in Wyoming. So I say we sell Wyoming to the French. And Colorado can just be picked up and moved into the Pacific Ocean or whatever. Join Hawaii there. Now, New Mexico, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey. They're all totally too new for a country that's almost 300 years old. So what about ancient Mexico, ancient York, ancient New Jersey, and ancient Hampshire? Speaking of ancient, why not just combine Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey, all into ancient England? Now, you see Wisconsin, and you see Michigan. You see this little part right here. This should go to Wisconsin because I think Wisconsin is a really, really cool state. Oh, cripes almighty, we just got a bunch of new land. Oh yeah, I forgot. Greenland should become the 51st state, and then Canada becomes the 52nd state, because yay. But obviously, Canada is way too big to be a state, so all Canadian provinces/territories become American states, and there's a new in front of them. And, of course, Greenland will be renamed to White Land. Personally, I think Kansas should just be swept up by a tornado by now. And Arkansas, now pronounced Arkansas, can be my Kansas. Minnesota can become a mini-soda. Florida can just leave the union. Just leave. All of the borders must be in perfectly straight lines. And finally, Wisconsin is Anilow land. They're all fixed up. How do you like it, America?
This actually sucks.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
This is the worst map I've quite literally ever seen in my 249 years of existence.
Hello, I hope you enjoyed this, video. Huge thanks to Bailey1337 for, voicing America. And thank you for watching. I'm gonna go now. Me when I get a 99% and not a 100%. Being the smart kid sounds like a good thing until the first time you mess up. Because when you mess up, it's a disappointment. And disappointments get punished harder. Hello, I'm Anilow. Let's rewind. In school, everyone gets a label. The loud kid, the weird kid, the athletic kid, and unfortunately for me, I was the smart kid. At first, it sounds like a good thing. You get a bunch of good grades, the teacher loves you, and everyone tries to cheat off of you. But it also means that you're expected to be perfect, a beautiful little angel that does nothing wrong, in which I am not. So when you slip up even just a little, the punishment doesn't match the offense. And that brings us to gym class, a place already ruled by borderline no rules. The floor was slippery, the air smelled like a bunch of undescribable smells, and it was a choice day, basketball, volleyball, or just walking. Naturally, I chose walking because I value my dignity. Now, everything was going completely fine. I was just walking, minding my business, avoiding flying basketballs, and then this kid walks past me. And this kid, how do I put this nicely? The lights were on, but nobody was paying the electricity bill. Out loud, to no one in particular, he goes, "Man, I'm slow at running." Now, me being a smart mouth, under my breath, or at least I thought under my breath, I said mentally too. Apparently, this kid hears me, whips his neck around, and glares at me like he's gonna go tell the teacher, which he probably was. Which immediately set my brain into panic mode. And as I just stood there thinking of ways that this won't lead into me getting thrown into prison, the kid runs off. I watched him go straight to the FIED teacher. Now, I had two options, run, or pretend nothing happened and gaslight reality. And I chose the latter, so I just kept walking and tried to push my panic down. I glare over to the other side of the gym, and this kid is talking to the teacher, and it looks like there's a little bit of back and forth. But after the kid walks away and the teacher doesn't snap the neck around and give me that glare and march towards me, I thought it was pretty safe. So I go through gym, get changed, go to my other classes. A few periods later, it's English class. The phone rings and my soul leaves my body for a second. The teacher answers it, goes, okay, and then hangs up. And then she just goes straight back to teaching us about whatever happened in the 18th century or something. I don't know. My soul comes back and I guess it was just a false alarm. Next period, science. The phone rings again. The teacher picks it up, says, "Yep, he's here," looks at me, and then puts it down. Then she waddles over to my desk and whispers at full volume, "They need you in the office." Now, after an ooh from the class and my walk of shame out the room, I started walking towards the office, thinking of ways that this wouldn't end in me going to prison. I get to the office, I say, "Hey, there was a call and I was brought down here," and then the office lady just points towards the room and says, "At the assistant principal's door." And that's when I knew the smart kid label was about to work against me. So I walk in, she directs me to sit down in literally the only other vacant chair in the room. Assistant principal on one side, table between us. They go, "So we heard about what you said," and in my head I'm like, okay, which version, the real one or the director's cut? She says, "We were told you were making fun of kids for having disabilities," and that's when my brain crashed. Now I'm not just a kid who said something dumb once, now I'm the smart kid who should have known better, which is a lot worse. So in my defense, it doesn't really matter. I try to explain that I wasn't talking about a disability and I was just being sarcastic. And this was basically like throwing eggs at an unbreakable wall. She hits me back with, "Well, that's still very disrespectful," and whatever, I don't know. I am cooked. Then she says, "So I think as a reasonable punishment, there should be write-up and lunch detention." And that's the moment it fully hit me. If any other kid said that, it would have been, "Hey, don't say that again. Maybe a warning." But because I was the smart kid, I get the write-up. They send me straight back to class and I just sit there for the rest of the period. So the next day I report to lunch detention. It's nice having the silence and not the chaos of the lunchroom. Although it was kind of a pleasant experience, I didn't really want to be in there, as kids who skip class and do a lot worse things end up in there, besides saying 2 words. And I basically just sit there for 30 minutes. So in the end, I got accused, interrogated, written up, and sentenced to the most peaceful lunch of my entire life. But I still did get the write-up, and I did not like that. But honestly, I guess it was kind of worth it. Hello, welcome to the end of the video. Subscribe, I guess, and like, I guess. Bye. I can't even see the screen.
Okay, can you read this line?
Not really.
How about this one?
No.
Okay, this is one letter. Don't you dare say no!
No. Hello, I'm Anilow. If you're wondering why this video looks different, I switched animation software, which is ironic because the topic of today's video is my eyes. They're catastrophically bad. I didn't even realize how bad my eyesight was, because when it gets worse slowly, your brain just goes, "Yeah, this is fine. This is reality now." I thought everybody saw like this. Turns out, no. You people are living in 4K. My realization moment came when I was squinting at something from 3 feet away. And someone just said, "Why don't you read it?" Read it? Read it? Dude, the letters are all blurry, I cannot see. So eventually I was like, yeah, this is getting kind of bad, and I go in for an eye test. And if you've never taken one, it's basically a game show where you slowly realize you're failing. They're like, "Okay, read the smallest line you can," and I'm like, is that a W or an A or a Z or a V or an X? The doctor stops smiling, and that's how you know it's over. And then they put those lenses in front of your face, and then suddenly, oh my god. Walls have texture, the floor has a pattern, you have a face. This must be illegal. And nobody tells you this, but the first day of wearing glasses is terrifying. Everything is too sharp, corners are aggressive, the floor has texture. I walk outside and immediately think, why can I see all the leaves individually? That's not normal. And now I can see people making eye contact with me from far away, which is awful, because before I could just assume they weren't looking at me, but now I know. But glasses also come with responsibilities, because if you forget them, you're legally blind again. Your brain goes, wait, this isn't right, and then remembers, oh yeah, we suck. And don't even get me started on cleaning them. I wiped them once and somehow they're dirtier. Where'd the smudges come from? I didn't even touch them. But the worst part? My glasses are actually broken right now. I turned my head around too fast and they flew off my face and hit the floor and then they broke, so... Oh well. Back to blurry soupy land. Hello, thank you for watching the video all the way through. Thanks to Bailey1337 for voicing again, and make sure to like and subscribe. Goodbye. And here is my latest and greatest, the one that ends the year, the worst animation app. Okay, have you ever tried to learn animation and then just quit? Yeah, this is probably why. Let me be clear, this isn't me hating animation. I love animation, but I hate this app. Flip It Clip used to be fine, not exactly amazing, but it worked and it was fine. You paid like $8 and you were done. You got layers, brushes, no advertisements, you know, basic features. Then they discovered subscriptions. Flip It Clip then decided that all the features that originally were just a one-time purchase of $8 were now $7 a month. For what? More than 3 layers? Some extra brushes? Exporting a video longer than 6 seconds? I love when my animation apps treats features like DLC. Now, maybe you could work with that. 3 layers, maybe that's enough. Maybe you just make short animations shorter than 6 seconds. But the ads are terrible. You draw a line, ad, undo, ad, play your video, ad, close the app and reopen it, ad, exist, ad. And it may be the most buggy app I've ever used. Like, creatively discouraging buggy. Freezes and crashes on this app are frequent and pretty much part of the Flip a Clip animating experience. And you can obviously see Flip a Clip is terrible. You've probably seen countless videos of people criticizing this app, and even reading the reviews that aren't bots just shows it too. And this is the worst part. Beginners don't know this isn't normal. They think animation is supposed to feel frustrating and limiting and expensive and broken, so they quit. I even almost quit. This channel was started on Flip a Clip, and making every video was a disaster. Luckily, I kept all the premium features except for the ads one for some reason, but still. But now, I'm glad I've recently gone to a way better app, ToonSquid. Suddenly, animation was still hard, but it was actually fun, which is how you know the problem wasn't me, it was this app. If an animation app makes beginners quit animation, that app failed, and Flip a Clip failed. Hello, welcome to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go animate without ads. Welcome to the end of the video. I'd like to thank everyone for supporting me and bringing me this far since September. It really means a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go have a Merry Christmas.